Yeah, so here we have a question from redox reaction, and we're gonna solve it all together, right? Let's read the statement first. Find the N factor for zinc in the following chemical change, and the reaction is there in front of you. Okay, zinc plus 4HNO3 dilute, giving you zinc nitrate, NO2, and water. The reaction is pretty much balanced. So N factor, how are you gonna calculate the N factor? So the N factor will be the total change in oxidation state of zinc, right? And how you gonna calculate this total change? It will be number of zinc atoms on the reactant side multiply by the change in oxidation state, right? Okay. Let's just first calculate the oxidation state of zinc on both the sides, reactant as well as product. So on the reactant side, it is elemental state, so it is going to be 0. On the product side, let's assume it to be X plus nitrate. You know, nitrate is like NO3 minus ion, so I'll assume NO3 minus, and this is like 2 ions into minus 1 is equal to 0. From here, X is coming out to be plus 2. So here, the oxidation state of zinc is plus 2. Okay. We have to calculate the N factor. That is the total change in oxidation state, right? So that will be, what is the formula for that? Be number of zinc atoms on reactant side, right? Into change in oxidation state, delta oxidation state, right? So how many number of zinc atoms that you have? You have only one zinc atom into the change. It is going from 0 to plus 2. Change will be 2. So the N factor for zinc is coming out to be 2. And option B for Bombay, Bengaluru, or even Byju's is the right answer to this question. And with that, we close this question. Thank you. So here we have a very basic question on electronic configuration. So let's do it all together. Okay. The number of paired and unpaired electrons, okay, in the valence shell of sulfur is, okay. Sulfur is like what? Oxygen family. Atomic number for sulfur is 16, right? So if you just write the electronic configuration according to Aufbau's rules, so it will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, till now 12, 3p4, 12 for 16. Perfect. Okay. You have to count the number of paired and unpaired electrons in the valence shell, and valence shell is the outermost shell, that is the third shell over here, right? So if I just draw 3s2 in this fashion, 3p4, this is like energy wise 3p is higher on energy, so 3p 4 electrons. So according to Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, you are going to fill them first singly, right? And now all 3 orbitals are filled, so the fourth electron is going to be paired up, right? Okay. Okay. Now we have to count the number of paired. We have 2 pairs of paired electron, so we will have paired electron is equal to 2 into 2, that is 4 electron, right? And the number of unpaired electron, very clear, crystal clear, unpaired electron. These 2 electrons are unpaired, so 2 electrons, right? So 4 paired and 2 unpaired. So answer should be paired is 4, unpaired is 2, 4 comma 2. Option B for Bombay, Bengaluru, or even Byju's is the right answer to this question. And with that, we conclude this question. Thank you. Yeah, so here we have a question on IPEC nomenclature, and let's do it together. So what is the correct IPEC name of the following compound? And there is a beautiful compound given to you. And the moment I see this compound, I can observe that there are 3 double bonds in this compound, right? Okay. Okay. So in the very first go, what I wish to do is I'll try to accommodate all the 3 double bonds into the parent chain, which I see is not possible in this case, right? So I'll try to accommodate maximum unsaturated part in my parent chain, right? And if I move on with that thought, I have to number this molecule either from here or from here, right? It won't be possible to take this into the parent chain. We'll treat this as side chain, right? So, but one thing that you have to keep in mind is that this carbon, according to the lowest locant rule, this carbon should get the minimum location, minimum number, right? Okay. So if I start from left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And if I start from right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, okay, fine. So this is a tie case from both the sides. I'm getting number 4 to this carbon. So I can start from any side, right? So let's do it from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? So the moment I see 7, the word root will be what? Hep. And because there are two unsaturated parts in the parent chain, then hept will become hepta, right? Okay, this is fine. And at position 4, we have the side chain, right? And the side chain is of 2 carbon atom. So this is going to be eth, right? And this is a double bond is there, ethene. And because it is a side chain, it will be ethinyl, right? And the location is 4, position is 4. So it is 4-ethinyl. So let's write the name now. So the final name should be 4-ethinyl hep, rather hepta. And the position of the double bond is 1 and 6. 1 comma 6 hyphen 1 comma 6 diene. Okay, okay, this is fine. Let's match with the options. 4-propyne, no, 4-ethinyl hepta 1,4-diene. Okay, and option C, 4-ethinyl hepta 1,6-diene. Okay, 4-ethinyl hepta 1,4-diene. We are looking for 1,6-diene. So option C is the best possible answer. So option C, C for Chennai, C for Calcutta, C for any other name that you know. So C is going to be the right answer to this question. And with that, we conclude this question. Thank you. Yeah, so here we have a question from hydrogen spectra, the Bohr's energy level. Let's see what the question says. Calculate the wavelength in angstrom of the photon that is emitted when an electron in the Bohr orbit n is equal to 2 returns to the orbit n is equal to 1 in the hydrogen atom. Okay, okay, fine. This is the piece of information that is given to us. And the ionization potential of the ground state hydrogen atom is 2.17 into 10 raised to power minus 11 erg per atom. Perfect, perfect. And the answer options are in angstrom, and the options are pretty close as well. Fine, fine. So the scenario is that we are moving from n is equal to 2 to n is equal to 1, right? This is the electronic transition, and we have to calculate the delta E. Okay, okay, okay. And from that, if I equate this with hc by lambda, so this lambda is going to be in angstrom is going to be my final answer. Okay, fine. What is given to us is that energy in the ionization potential is given as what? It is given as 2.17 into 10 raised to power minus 11 erg per atom, right? So if I just convert this into joule, 1 erg is like what? 10 to the power minus 7 joule. So 2.17 into 10 to the power minus 11 into 10 raised to power minus 7 joule per atom, right? So this is that value we are pretty familiar with. 2.17 into 10 raised to power minus 18 joule per atom, right? Fine. This is fine. Okay. This is the ionization potential. So can I say this is going to be the negative of this is going to be the energy of the electron in the first orbit, right? So if I generalize this, then En, the energy of electron in the nth orbital, which is proportional to minus n square minus z square, rather minus z square by n square. If I just compare it, so En will be my minus 2.17 into 10 raised to power minus 18 into z square by n square joule per atom, right? I hope this makes sense. So we have to calculate delta E, which is nothing but E2 minus E1, right? And this is like hydrogen atom, so Z in any case is going to be 1. So E2 minus E1 is like what? If I take 2.17 into 10 raised to power minus 18 common, and this will be like minus 1 by n2 square minus 1 by n1 square, and this minus sign will make it as 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. I hope you understand this. I have accommodated this negative sign inside the bracket. Okay. If I just calculate this further, so this will be like 2.17 into 10 raised to power minus 18, 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 2 square. Okay. So this will be like 2 square is 4, 1 square is 1, 1 by 1 minus 1 by 4. So this whole bracket will become nothing but 3 by 4. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Fine. This is fine. We have to solve this further and equate it with hc by lambda. So can I say 2.17 into 3 by 4 into 10 raised to power minus 18 is equal to hc by lambda? If I just put the values, h is 6.6 into 10 raised to power minus 34, c is 3 into 10 raised to power 8, and lambda. First, we'll calculate the lambda in meter and then we'll convert that into angstrom. So this is like what? 3 by 4 into 2.17, and I am taking this 10 to the power minus 18 on the other side. So it will come in the denominator, it will go on the numerator side plus 18. 18 and 8 will be what? 26. Okay. Okay. Fine. 3 goes with 3. So lambda comes out to be 6.6 into 4 upon 2.17 into 10 raised to the power 26, and 34 is like what? Minus 8. Perfect. 24, 6, 4, 24, 24, 26, 26.4 upon 2.17. Okay, okay, okay. Into 10 raised to power minus 8. Fine. Let me take this here. So can I write it as 2.64 upon 2.17 into 10 raised to power minus 9? Make sense? Minus 9, minus 7. This will be minus 7. Don't commit mistake at this point. So this is like 264 upon 217. And we have to do this calculation. No other option. Let me clear this part. So we can write it over here. And this will be like what? If I divide 264 with 217, this is like 1, 217, 1477, 514, 470, 1.2, 434, 70, 34, 36, 1.2171. This is like what? 217, and this is like, this is going to be 1073, 514, 143, and 217, 1430, 6, 6, 12, 6. Yeah, 6 will be fine. So approximately 1.216. So can I say this will be approximately equal to 1.22? Make sense? So if I just write it, this will be lambda will be 1.22 into 10 raised to power minus 7 meter. Answer has to be in angstrom. So angstrom is minus 10 meter. So if I just multiply this by 1000, this will be minus 10 meter, and this value is nothing but angstrom. So your final answer will be 1220 angstrom. Match with the options. A for Agra, A for Agartala is the right answer to this question. And with that, we conclude this question. Thank you. Yeah, so here we have a question from thermodynamics, and let's see what the question says. Consider a system consisting of 1 mole of an ideal diatomic gas in a container with piston. Okay, See, when it says ideal diatomic gas, can I say that CVM for this will be 5R by 2? Sir, how you gonna say that? Just explain this a bit further. So CV, the formula for CV is what? F R by 2. And what is the F? F is the degree of freedom, right? So if you consider the degree of freedom for a diatomic molecule, then it has the translational degree of freedom, that is going to be 3 x, y and z direction, right? And for a diatomic molecule, the degree of freedom, the rotational degree of freedom is going to be 2, right? And there is one vibrational degree of freedom, but we do not consider that at normal temperature. It is only and only considered at a very high temperature. Keeping that in mind, so 3 translational, 2 rotational, 3 plus 2 5. The value of F is 5, 5R by 2. Okay, you can even remember the value of CV and CP for mono, di and tri or polyatomic gases, right? Okay, okay, this is sorted till here. The question says, what is the temperature change? That means delta T is what they are asking of the gas if Q, the heat change is 50 joule and work done is minus 100 joule. Okay, 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 fine. This is fine. So can I just use the first law of thermodynamics? What does the first law of thermodynamics says? It says that change in internal energy is nothing but the sum of heat and the work done. Okay. Can I replace change in internal energy with NCVM delta T? Right? Okay. Will be equal to Q plus W. Let's put the values now. The value of moles is 1. CVM is nothing but 5R by 2. Delta T is something which we have to calculate. So heat change is 50 plus 50 joule and work done is minus 100 joule. So 50 minus 100 will be nothing but minus 50. Okay, okay. This is like 5R by 2 into delta T. 5R by 2 into delta 5, 50, 10 minus 10. Okay, okay. So delta T, I'll solve it here. Delta T is nothing but minus 20 by R. And R, when everything is in SI unit, so the value of R is going to be 8.314, right? If it would have been 20 by 8, what would I say? That this is going to be 10 by 4, 5 by 2, 2.5 and 8.3. Instead of 8, we have 8.3. So the value will be slightly less than 2.5 or 2.4, close to 2.4. So it will be minus 2.4 Kelvin. Okay. Let's match with the options. Minus 50 far away. Minus 2.4 exactly matching. Minus 5.8 no. Minus 1.25 no. So option B, B for Bombay or Bengaluru or even Byju's is going to be the right answer to this question. And with that, we conclude this question. Thank you.